Hello, my name is Aaron, and I'm a seasoned gamer with a deep appreciation for classic handheld consoles. Having grown up with the Game Boy, my gaming journey began in the pixelated world of 8-bit fighters, where reflexes, strategy, and nostalgia collided. From battling in street brawls to mastering martial arts combos, I love the art of combat. Gaming knows no bounds. Today, I'm sharing my top 5 picks for the best fighting games on the Game Boy, a list that combines action, challenge, and of course, that retro charm that defines the handheld gaming experience. Battle Arena Toshiba is a game that was popular on the arcade scene, the Sega Saturn, and on the PlayStation, and somehow it got ported to the little Game Boy handheld. The game somehow retains the movements and the fighting moves of the console ports. If anything, the game plays a little bit faster on the Game Boy. All the characters are very recognizable and all their special moves are in the game. One of the setbacks is obviously the 3D is not in the game. But what they lack in graphical visuals, they make up on pure gameplay and familiarity. This is one of the most enjoyable fighting games on the Game Boy, and it definitely deserves the number 5 spot on this list. Killer Instinct is the most unthinkable ports coming from the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 gaming consoles, and somehow cram its pixel-style details into the Game Boy handheld. The game keeps most of the same combos and fighting style as the console versions, but with only 2 buttons, it could be very challenging at times to pull off big moves. It doesn't help that the detail of the characters and the background, it's a little hard to distinguish at times. But the game is definitely very faithful and reminiscent of the console versions. I couldn't pull off any finishing moves, but it was not necessary for this demonstration. If you're looking for Killer Instinct on a go, then this is the way to go, coming at number 4. Number 3 on the list is King of Fighters 95 on the Game Boy handheld. This arcade port from the King of Fighters series uses all the same moves as the arcade version, but compresses it into an 8-bit version of the game that is very playable. All the specials and power-ups are in this game, even though the hit collision is a little bit of a misfire every now and then. You have a big roster of characters to choose from, and the game has its own little unique charm. Obviously, it is not better than the Neo Geo Pocket version of King of Fighters, but Game Boy pushed itself to its limits to show off what it's capable of doing. From the audio to the visuals, that's a very solid game to want to pick up and play. Number 2 on the list was very hard to put on number 2 because to some people this game should have been put as number 1, and this is Street Fighter 2. This game pushes the Game Boy way past its limits. Using 8-bit graphics on a 32-bit processor is very stressful on the Game Boy, and you can tell by the frame skips that they had to put in place in order to give the game a smooth, similar experience to the arcade version of Street Fighter 2. You get all the characters that you're used to, and the boss fight is not that bad. I found myself as a kid playing this game quite often. Last but not least, the number 1 game and the top 5 pick of the Game Boy fighting game list has to go to Mortal Kombat 2 for the Game Boy. Mortal Kombat 1 was too slow and messed up to make it on the list, but Mortal Kombat 2 was perfection. What a healthy roster of characters to select. Mortal Kombat 2 pushes the Game Boy past its limits once again with all their moves intact. With all their special moves in the game and very recognizable when executed. And you are able to pull off fatality, even though the game only has 2 button inputs. This game was very challenging in my childhood, and I will play for hours. The boss fight did not have Garo or Kotaro, but you definitely have a good boss fight at the end. I believe these games showcase the evolution of fighting games on the Game Boy while keeping the platform's limitations in mind. They still offer a fun challenge and a great sense of nostalgia, proving that even in the 8-bit era, gaming could deliver intense, memorable action.
Thank you for watching this episode of Informers Inc. Remember this game. I hope you help support your local content creators by donating on the QR link below. Also, hit the subscribe and hit the bell. And once again, thanks.